Hey y'all, welcome back to my live show. I'm Shanta Prince and I help women coaches to build their personal brands, create their high ticket offers, and get paying clients. So today I'm extra smiley because I just got back from a vacation, a much needed vacation, and I had my time on the beach. For those of you who follow me, you know I love my beach time and how much I look forward to going to the beach during the summertime or anytime it's warm enough for me to go on the beach. Like I love going to the beach. That is my jam. It's how I get refreshed, it's how I get renewed, and it's self-care, right? So hopefully you are making sure you have time in your schedule to take care of yourself. Good morning. You have time in your schedule to take care of yourself and make sure you're getting what you need because, like I was talking to Natasha the other day about, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So your cup has to be full so that you can make sure you're able to pour into other people. So for me, that the beach does it for me. And especially if you get that time in to pray, you get that prayer time in, it really allows me to be able to focus and get clarity on some things and just get refreshed and renewed. So hopefully you've got your self-care plan for the summertime. For those of you who are signed up for the lead generation workshop, you are in for a treat. So if you're watching me right now, you signed up. First of all, thank you so much for your business. You could be learning from anybody else, but you're learning from me, and I don't take that for granted. I don't take it lightly. And that's why you already know, if you've been to any of my workshops, you know that I usually over deliver. So I'm excited for you. Thank you so much for signing up for the lead generation workshop. If you still need to grab your spot, just send me a message. You can message me on LinkedIn or on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching me from. Send me a message if you want to sign up for the lead generation workshop, because that's kind of like what we're going to be talking about. Hey, Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus says next trip. Okay. Self-care and hotel savings. So that's what I want to talk about today, right? I want to talk about those of us who are like, okay, listen, I'm ready to take this thing to the next level, right? And when I say us, I mean those who are in the coaching space, the mentorship space. If you're a coach, mentor, service provider, that's us, right? And so sometimes you get to a place in business where you're like, okay, I need to take this thing up to a notch. I'm ready to go to the next level. That could be wherever you are. If you've made your first $1,000, maybe you're ready to make your next $10,000, right? If you made your first $25,000, maybe you're ready to make your next $50,000, right? So everybody is at a different level. And the beautiful thing is that you don't have to compare where you are to anybody else, right? You just get to be where you are. So if you're looking for more clients, that's exactly what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about some of the things that you can focus on if you want more clients. A lot of times, what coaches, those who are in a coaching and mentorship space are struggling with is finding more clients, right? It's like, listen, I am trying to hit these income goals and I need more clients. Now, earlier, what I was getting at is if you, depending on what your goal is, it may be different from what someone else's goal is, right? So, for example, when my clients ask for support, sometimes my answer is different depending on that client and what their goal is. So, if I have a client who's just looking to make an extra $10,000 a month, and maybe she just wants to be able to pay for certain things, and she just has a set income amount that she wants to make each month. If she asks a question, it may be different from the client, but my answer may be different from the client who's like, okay, I'm ready to make $50,000 a month. I'm ready to step into that next level. Okay. So the response may be different depending on where you are and where you're going. But a lot of times at any place where you are, the next thing is, okay, I need more clients to be able to hit my goal. Even if you're just trying to make your first $1,000 a month in coaching, if you're just trying to make your first $10,000 a month, you're at a level where you probably are like, okay, I need more clients, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is we're in the middle of the year, and it is a great time to revisit your goals and to take a look at some of the things that you need to work on. I was just talking to my own coach about some of the things that I need more of with my business. So that's something that everybody has to do. You never grow out of reflecting on your business and what you can do to take it to the next level. So for me, I'm looking at, okay, I need more of this and less of this so that I can hit my own income goals. Okay. So when it comes to getting more client, there's some things that you need to have in place so that you can do that. So a lot of times when people say, "Oh, I want more clients, I want more customers," they're not doing the things that they need to do to line up with that. Okay, so most of the time, I'm gonna tell you what the problems usually are, and if you can relate to this, just let me know in the comments. Okay, so sometimes when you want more clients, yeah, you're like, "I want more clients," but are you selling enough? Okay, let me know in the comments. Are you selling enough? Right? A lot of times the answer is no, right? We want more clients, but we're not selling enough. If you're not making enough offers, you're not going to have enough sales. Okay, so you got to make offers in order to close more sales. You got to make more offers. You got to mention your program more. You got to talk more about your program. You got to go live sometimes and do some videos. And I always laugh because I talk about one of my clients who does not like to do videos. She prefers Clubhouse and she closes sales like that. That's how she gets her sales. She uses Clubhouse. It's still a version of going live, but it's not video. But I laugh all the time because I'm always saying, get on video, go live, go live. And then I have one client who I work different strategies depending on what my clients like. If they really, really don't prefer live on video, then we find other ways to help them meet their income goals. So it all depends on your personality. But when they ask me, which should they do it live or should they do it like this, I'm always saying go for the live video. And I laugh every time because it's like they already know what my answer is going to be, right? So sometimes you got to get on video so that people can actually see you and know what you offer. If you're a secret agent, you're going to have some trouble getting some sales. And what I mean by secret agent is nobody really knows exactly what you do. But if you're showing up and you're engaging with people, you're going to be able to sell more. So number one, if you want more clients, you got to make more offers. Okay. Number two, if you want more clients, you have to have a lead generation strategy. That's what the lead generation workshop is all about on tomorrow. If you want a spot in a lead generation workshop, just send me a message. The lead generation workshop is how to put your strategy in place so that you can bring in leads on a regular basis. You need leads in order to close sales. Okay. So now, if you're brand new to business and you're like, okay, what exactly is a lead? A lead is an ideal client, right? Someone who is a great fit for your program. And once you find a lead, you have to take the next step and figure out if they actually qualify for your program, right? So, in essence, to make it a short definition, a lead is a person who's your ideal client. It's someone who you can help. Well, you got to find out if you can help them, or whether or not you can help them. Someone who would be a great fit for your program if all of if they meet all of the check marks. And I'll talk about that, how to find out if this person is going to be a great person for your program. So, for example, I just told you that I help women coaches, and I work with the gents too. I have a few gentlemen who have been following me for years, and they buy my products and they sign up for my program. So I do work with a few gents too, a few smart gents who are like, okay, I need to get with Shanta so she can help me do what I need to do for my business, right? So I do work with a few gents, but my target audience is women. I don't turn the gentlemen away, but I target women as my ideal client. However, every woman is not going to necessarily be a great fit for my program, right? So let's say I find a woman coach, but maybe she does a type of coaching that is outside of my wheelhouse. Y'all, there are all types of coaching, all types of mentorship programs, and maybe she does something that's outside of my expertise or outside of my wheelhouse. Now, in that case, yeah, she's an ideal client. She's a woman coach. But then after speaking with her, I realized, she's not the perfect fit for my program, right? So there's a difference between finding ideal clients and then finding dream clients. Your dream clients are going to be the perfect fit for your program. But as you find leads and you work through your conversations with them, then you'll find out, okay, this is my dream client. This person is perfect for my program. So in order for you to find clients, you gotta have leads. You gotta have people coming into your world, your space, your audience on a regular basis. So if you have a Facebook group that's kind of quiet, or if you have a page that's kind of quiet, it's normal for your group to go quiet or your page to go quiet after a while if there's not a new group of people coming in on a regular basis. It happens to everybody. It's just a normal thing that happens. So if you're like, oh, my group is dead, this is dead, you most likely need to bring in some new people, because what happens when we're new to something? We're excited, we're engaged, we're interested. But honestly, there's so many different things on social media that people can be involved in. After a while, people kind of check out. But that's okay as long as you have new people coming in on a regular basis. So you have to constantly make sure you're doing what you need to do to grow your audience so that you can find leads. As a matter of fact, this is another thing I was just talking to my own coach about really dialing in on visibility. And this is something that I teach my clients as well, how to increase their visibility. Okay. So we're talking about if you need clients, the first thing that you want to do is take a minute and just focus on some of the things that you need to tighten up on in your business so that you can get in position to get more clients. Number one was you're probably not making enough offers. Okay. You're probably not opening up enough opportunities for people to buy from you. And there are some ways to do that. You can share about your offer. You can talk about your offer when you go live. If you make a post about what you're offering and what it is that you do, if you're doing that on a regular basis, then people come to the understanding of exactly what it is you offer. Like, think about the people that you know right now and what they offer, right? It's because you don't come to know what a person offers unless they're always talking about this offer, right? So then you begin to associate people with what it is they offer. That's what you want people to do with you. You want them to look at you and know, okay, this is what Zacchaeus offers. And so you want them to have an understanding of what it is that you do. So when someone, whether they need your services or not, when someone else says, oh, I need this specific service, you come to mind. That is what branding is all about. Branding is about you being in the forefront of your ideal clients' minds so that when they need that problem solved, or when they know someone who needs that problem solved, they think about you. Okay. So you got to have a lead generation strategy in place. You got to make more offers. Number two, you got to have a lead generation strategy in place where you're bringing in new people all the time. One of the fastest ways to do that is you can create a lead magnet. A lead magnet is exactly that. It's a magnet for leads. It draws people in. And if you're brand new to business, a lead magnet is something that you offer in exchange for that lead's email address, right? So in essence, when someone downloads your lead magnet, they're giving you permission to email them. And that's giving you permission to market to them. And that is huge. And I don't take that lightly either. I also encourage my clients not to take that lightly either. If someone is going to give you their email address so that you can market to them, then honor them by giving them something amazing in exchange for that, right? So that's one way. I'm going to go into detail about more on how to put your lead generation strategy in place so that you're bringing people in on a regular basis. So I talked about in the Brand and Demand Bootcamp a couple of weeks ago about how sales is a numbers game. It does not discriminate, right? Sales does not discriminate against anybody. It is a numbers game. Sales doesn't say, I don't like Zacchaeus, so he's just never going to be able to make any money. That's not how it works. It is a numbers game. It depends on how many people you're offering to. If you offered your program one time this week and only 10 people saw it, then you're going to have a hard time trying to get some sales from that, right? So the third thing about getting more clients is visibility. Okay. So if you're offering and not enough people are seeing it, that's a problem. So many times when you're trying to sell something and it's not working for you, you feel like, oh my goodness, I got to go fix my offer. And really, that's not the problem at all. The problem is not enough people have seen it. It is a numbers game, right? It depends on how many people have seen your offer. So if you made your post, for example, on my Facebook page, I have close to 8,000 followers on my Facebook page. If I make a post, only a small percentage of people are going to see that. So out of my nearly 8,000 followers on my page, maybe less than 100 people may see that post. That's just the way that the Facebook algorithm works. And of course, if I'm doing other things like going live and getting engagement, then more people will see it. But on an average, a very small percentage of people are actually seeing that post. So if I make a post on my page about something that I'm offering and I don't get any engagement, I don't get any responses, and then I get frustrated because I didn't get a sale. Like, what does that look like, right? It looks like someone who is not understanding that it is a numbers game. And I want you to, if you don't walk away with anything else from this broadcast, walk away with this. Sales is a numbers game. You got to learn the numbers and put the strategies in place so that you can get the right numbers so that you can close the kind of sales that you want to close. So for example, let's say Zacchaeus wants to get a certain amount of sales. That means he's got to talk to a certain amount of people. He's got to market to a certain amount of people. If the first 10 people that he speaks to, they say maybe 9 of the first 10 people that he speaks to says no to his offer, right? But maybe that 10th person says yes. So guess what? After that, Zacchaeus is like, okay, I talked to 10 people and one person said yes. Now I need to talk to 10 more people so I can get another sale. But what happens is people get into the mix of generating leads. They're finding people and people are saying no, right? And most of the time it could be because they're working the numbers game, but it could also be that the person is not talking to the right people, right? And that's what we're going to talk about in the lead generation workshop. We're going to talk about how to talk to the right people and how to reverse engineer your numbers according to what you want to accomplish. Okay. Everybody has a different goal. If you're like, listen, I just want to make enough to pay my mortgage, I just want to make enough to pay for my car, whatever it is. Or if you're like, listen, I'm trying to be a millionaire, right? All of those are possible, but depending on your goals, you can work those numbers back and then you can figure out, okay, this is how many people I need to talk to. This is how many people I need to market to. This is how many people I need to connect with every week. And then you have goals every week that you can set. This is the beauty of having a lead generation um, strategy in place. When people say your income is predictable, it really is, in the sense of when you know how many people you need to talk to, then when you know how many people you need to talk to, it changes the game for you because you have a different mindset now, right? You're not getting discouraged because you talked to 5 people and they said no, but then you start to understand, okay, I talked to 5 people, I got 5 no's. Let me keep going because somewhere in the next 5 people, I'm going to get my yes, right? And you're going to keep going. But most people get discouraged on the 9th person because they're like, this just doesn't work for me. And remember when I told you earlier, sales does not discriminate, right? It doesn't decide it doesn't like you, right? So you really have to understand your numbers and understand what it takes to reach the kind of goals that you want to reach. I'm telling you, it is very, very doable when you understand from that aspect. Now, about this lead generation workshop, I'm offering this lead generation workshop. And I usually don't do things like this. Now, the last couple of months, I've offered 2 workshops at a very affordable price. And I usually, mostly sell higher ticket products. Lately, I've been offering these workshops for those of you who are like, okay, I have lost my job and I can't commit to a 12-month program. My main program is a 12-month program. And I do understand that sometimes it's hard to commit to a 12-month program when you're like, I don't know what my income is going to be looking like over this next year. We've all been hit by life, right? COVID has hit everybody and it's kind of changed things because now some people are just uncertain. For those of you who are just uncertain, you're like, listen, I don't even know how I'm going to get through this season of not having a job or this season of looking for a new job. So, and what I mean is that like your income is if your income is unpredictable, I started to offer these workshops for those who are like, listen, I'm ready to invest. I just can't invest in a 12-month program. I totally understand. I listened to you. I heard you. For those of you, so many people came and said, do you have anything else outside of the 12-month program? Because I want to invest. I'm ready to invest in myself. I just can't do that one. This is for you. And I'm teaching things that are normally not taught on this level and at this price. So this is something that you definitely don't want to miss out on because of the value that I bring. And y'all know, if y'all know me, you know that I'm not saying this to brag, but I really want you to understand the value of knowing how to generate leads for your business. It is a skill that once you learn this, it can apply to any other thing that you ever do, not just in business, but whatever you do in ministry, in life in general. Knowing how to find the right people to share your message with is going to change the game. You can do more with 10 people who are interested in what you offer than you can do with 1,000 who don't care about what you offer. And so what happens is a lot of times we go for the numbers, the big numbers, but we don't understand how to find the right people. The big numbers don't matter if it's not the right people, okay? So you really have to look at the quality of who you're attracting in relation to your offer, the quality of people that you're attracting in relation to your offer versus the quantity. Because quality is going to beat quantity every single time, right? Don't even try to find this out. Just trust me on this one. Don't go try to figure this out on your own because I failed enough and made enough mistakes to tell you that always go for quality over quantity. The numbers don't matter. As a matter of fact, one of my clients was told me recently that she was working with a person who had over 100,000 people in her audience, but was not making any money at all. She's got over 100,000 followers and not making any money because she doesn't know how to monetize. She doesn't know how to monetize her expertise and her gifts and her talents. Imagine what you could do with 100,000 people if you knew how to monetize the gifts that you have, how to monetize your knowledge, right? This is what I teach. I teach my clients how to monetize their God-given gifts, how to monetize their knowledge, their expertise, how to put it in a form that people are actually willing to pay for, right? And so it's not about the amount of people that you have. You can make sales if you have a tiny audience. You can monetize a tiny audience if it's the right people. And that's what lead generation is all about. It's about finding the right people. And when you find the leads, the next step is to, okay, find out, does this person actually qualify for my program? And there are ways to do that as well. So you want to make sure you're finding the right people to share your message with. So if you're not getting enough clients, it could be that you're trying to market to the wrong people. Okay. You're trying to sell your program to people who don't even qualify for your program. Or you're not, like we talked about, number one, you're not selling enough. You're not making enough offers. And if you're one of those people who you're not making enough offers, you feel it. Like, it. You're like, oh, yeah, I know you can feel it when you're like, oh, I know I need to talk about my program more. I need to do more live videos and talk about my program. I need to post more about my program. So another thing that people often say too is they'll say, oh, I want more clients, but they're not opening up their calendar to book appointments to actually get on the phone with people. And so when you say I want more clients, you got to start taking the actions to line up with that, right? It's just like praying and praying and praying for something, and then you never get up and go do it, right? You can pray for, if you're looking for a job, you can pray for a job all day, right? But the job is not just going to fall into your lap. Like, you got to go do interviews. You got to do applications in order to make that happen for yourself. It's the exact same way we're getting clients. If you've been praying for more clients, but you're not doing the things that you need to do to get those clients, then the answer to your prayer is in your faith and you stepping it out and taking action, right? So when you pray, you show that you believe that what you pray for is going to happen by getting up and taking action, right? So if you're praying for this or you're praying for that, you got to do the things that you need to do to line up with that. I'm going to be teaching all of that inside of the lead generation workshop, okay? So let's talk about more about this getting clients thing. Number one, just do a self-assessment, right? We're in the middle of the year. It's a great time to self-reflect on things that you know you need to tighten up on. Number one, you want more clients. So number one, are you selling enough? Are you making enough offers? Okay. Number two, do you have a lead generation strategy in place for yourself where you're bringing in leads, people who are great for your program, where you're bringing in new people all the time? Listen, this is my idea. This is my philosophy when it comes to leads, right? Everybody is a lead until you determine that they're not. Okay. If you got a Facebook page, or you have a Facebook group, let's say you have a Facebook group and you got 100 people in your group, right? All 100 of those people are leads until you have found out that they are not. Okay? So you got 100 leads that you need to go and work through and find out if these people are actually qualified for your program. And when you realize, okay, that person is not a good fit. Like for me, for example, if I'm talking to someone and they're an entrepreneur and I'm trying to find out what kind of entrepreneur they are. If they sell lashes, they're probably that's not going to be a good fit for me for my program, because I don't teach them how to grow those kind of businesses. I teach them how to grow coaching, mentorship, service provider businesses. So that person is most likely not a good fit for me or for my program. But on the flip side, I might be a customer because I may want to buy some lashes. So that's what I mean by like finding out. When you find out that someone is not a lead, they're a lead until you figure out that they're not, okay? And that's the mindset that you got to have when it comes to generating leads for your business. Everybody is a lead until you find out that they're not, okay? And so when you're prospecting or looking for leads, right? I learned this when I was a real estate agent, and when they so being that I am an introvert, I'm not the kind of person, I don't like to do the door-to-door thing, right? When it comes, you know how people like come to your door to sell stuff? I could never do a job like that. I'm not the go show up at your door and try to sell you something kind of a person. As a matter of fact, when people come to my door, I just let the doorbell ring and I look at them through my camera, and that's just about it. So when I was a real estate agent, one thing that we were taught to do is we had to understand how to prospect, which means looking for leads. It's the same way with these kinds of businesses. If you're a mentor or coach, you have to always, I call it, always be prospecting, right? Your eyes always have to be open for opportunities to find leads, right? You have to have this eye, your eyes have to be trained for prospecting. Like when I was growing up, my mom, and she passed this down to me too. My mom could find the best deals on like everything. Like we could be in the mall getting ready to leave, and she would spot a sale like from all the way across the walkway. And then we would end up in this store because she saw a sale from far away. And we would go into the store and end up shopping this sale. Well, that is, she was always, her eyes were always open for a sale. Now I'm the same way. Like I could spot a good sale from like a mile away. And my eyes are just trying to be able to pick out a good deal all the time. And so when you're looking for leads, your eyes have to be trained, right? You've got to have your prospecting glasses on and always look for opportunities to find a customer, like what Zacchaeus, like what Zacchaeus just did. I was talking about how I just came from vacation. It's like, this is like, look, the next trip, let me know. I can get you some hotel savings, right? So that's him prospecting, right? So hey, look, if you're looking for to take a trip, go get with Zacchaeus so you can get that trip book, right? So you got to have your eyes trained to look for leads and find your people. That's what prospecting is, a part of generating leads. And I'm going to teach that in the workshop as well. But I just want to give you an overview of some of the things to focus on when you're looking to get more clients. There's some things deep down inside that you got to tighten up on. It could be anything. It could be making sure you're emailing your email list more often. It could be, maybe you don't have an email list. Maybe you're like, I know I need to get an email list together. Now, I do teach my clients that you don't need an email list to get started with getting clients, but I do encourage them, if you're in this thing for the long game, you need to get an email list, right? And usually when people say that, you don't need an email list, they don't give you the whole story, right? They'll just say, you don't need an email list. The truth is, you don't need an email list right away to get started. But if you want your business to have a long life, you need an email list, right? And so a lot of times when people say, well, you don't need an email list, ask them, do they have an email list? Okay. I guarantee you 100% of the time that the person who's saying you don't need an email list, I guarantee you they have an email list. Guarantee. So the thing is, you don't need it to get started. But if you want to keep going, you need to get an email list, right? This is me telling my clients all the time, get your email list together so that when social media goes down, and we've all experienced this, when Facebook or Instagram goes down, you can still run your business. If your business and your customers are only on social media, when social media goes down, you can't make any money. And we do not want to be in that position where our business is totally depending on social media, right? So you want to have that email list, which is a great way to collect your leads, right? We're talking about getting more clients. We're talking about lead generation. Having an email list is a great way to collect leads, because guess what? When you're ready to sell something, you've got a list of an email. You got emails from people, and you can email them about what it is that you're offering, so that you're not offering to crickets. I've made offers to crickets many times, meaning I've tried to sell things to no one so many times that now that's why I encourage my clients to get their email list together, so that when you're selling, you have people to sell to. You're not selling to crickets, right? You've got a warm list of people who are interested in what it is that you offer. Okay. So, but there are plenty other ways to generate leads. And the third thing I want to talk about is you talking to people, right? You got to talk to people if you want to sell. Don't have that mentality where you're like, oh, I just want to make a post and hope people buy. I make posts all the time. And I can tell you right now that most of my sales happen in the messages, not from someone buying from a post. I buy from the messages. If someone posts something, This is how you got to get into the mindset of your ideal clients, right? Get into the mindset of those leads that you're going to be talking to. Sometimes I see something that I actually want, but I get distracted and I may not buy it. But even though I intend to, I may not buy it at the time because maybe I just got distracted or I started doing something else and I forgot all about it. This is why I actually like remarketing. So I know you've experienced this before where you clicked on something and then you go on Facebook and that thing that you just clicked on some website is right in your Facebook feed. Happens all the time. Facebook does that using a pixel. A pixel is a code that follows you everywhere you go. So when you come back to Facebook, that ad pops up right on your feed, and it's called remarketing. Okay, and so I actually like remarketing because sometimes I really intend to buy something and I forget about it, and then when I open up Facebook, I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to buy those shoes or I meant to pay for this, and so sometimes it's not that they don't want to buy, it's just that they're really distracted. But when you learn how to talk to people in the messages, you're bringing it right to them. You're bringing it right to their front porch and saying, "Here, I got this offer. I know you need this because when we talked last week, you said blah 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 blah." Right? That is a great way to close sales if you know how to do it. Right? There's a lot of controversy about selling in the messages, and I believe that the biggest controversy is because some people don't know how to use the messages to sell, and that is the problem. They're aggravating people, they're upsetting people, and so now there's this big debate going on about selling in the DMs. Now, it is very possible to sell and close sales in the messages if you know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Okay, you don't just send somebody a friend request and then send them a long message, a sales pitch in their messages as soon as they accept your friend request. Now, I sell in the direct messages. My clients sell in the direct messages. However, I will block somebody so fast if they send me a friend request and I accept the friend request, and then their first message to me is some sales message that they just cut and pasted. That is not the right way to sell in the direct messages. I teach my clients how to build relationships, right? A lot of my sales come from people that I've built relationships with. And the reason why is because they trust me and they know that they know I'm not going to take their money and run with it. They know that if I say I'm going to deliver this, they know that I'm going to deliver it. And they don't have to stress out, not think, wondering, okay, is she really going to give me this class? Am I really going to get access to this? My people know how I deliver. And that's because I talk to them. So if you want to make sure, first of all, that you take a look at what it is that you're doing, and then you want to make sure you're making enough offers. Then you want to make sure that you've got your lead generation strategy in place. And a part of that lead generation strategy needs to be you talking to people, communicating with people. No one wants to work with a coach or mentor that they don't see. People need to see you and hear you so they can get an idea of what they're getting into, right? Some people are going to see you on camera and be like, oh my gosh, I got to work with this person. I love their personality. I love their spirit. They're so kind. And then I have another client. I worked with a client who she was the opposite. She was more like a drill sergeant. And she was like, people say I'm too harsh. Do you think I need to tone it down? And I was like, no, ma'am, because some people want that kind of coach. Some people want the kind of coach who's going to get in their face and tell them, listen, you got to get this together. We got to clean this up, right? It depends on the style that people prefer. Okay. So some people are going to be attracted to different things, but they got to see you so they can fall in love with your personality and get to know you and realize, okay, I need to work with her. I need to work with him. And that's how you start to generate more leads, by people seeing you and by you talking to more people. So make more offers, get your lead generation strategy in place, and have more conversations. You'd be so surprised at what a conversation can come out to if you approach the conversation without having any expectations of what the outcome is going to be. I've made so many friends just by connecting with people and not being attached to what the outcome is going to be. It's like, okay, this person may be a client and they may not be a client, but that's what I'm here to find out. This person may be, a person who's just going to refer people. And I have people like that too, that they're probably never going to be clients, but they refer people to me all the time. They're like, hey, I know you need this. Oh, I know Shanta, she does this. I can connect you with her. I have people sending me referrals in my messages all the time just because they know what I do and I've built a relationship with them. So don't Don't think that just because you're talking to people that it is always going to result in a sale, but it could result in a lot of other things, right? But some of the people who you talk to are going to result in a sale. And what I'm saying to you is when you do have conversations with people while you're looking for more clients, you don't have to be attached to what the outcome is going to be, but be curious about the person to see what it is that you can do for them if you can do something for them. There's nothing wrong with talking to a person to find out if you can serve them or not, okay? But if you can't, it's okay, right? If you can't serve them, then that's perfectly okay. Just continue to build a relationship with them because you just never know what that relationship is going to turn out to be, okay? Now, for those of you who are signed up for the lead generation tomorrow, we're kicking off tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's going to be very detailed. Y'all know how I do. We're going to go into detail about how to generate leads. And it's going to be a lot of information. I will be honest about that. It's going to be a lot of information, but you will receive access to the recording and you will receive handouts that are going to help you to navigate through all of the information that we're going to cover. If you need a spot in the lead generation workshop, just send me a message really quickly and say, hey, Shanta, can you send me the link for that lead generation workshop? And we can get you signed up and get you on with us tomorrow night. Okay, y'all. I will be back next Thursday at the same time. I go live every Thursday at 12 o'clock noon. So come back next Thursday, hang out with me at 12 o'clock noon, and we'll keep talking about all things branding, selling, and marketing, and building your personal brand. Okay. All right. So you have a great week, and I will see you back here next Thursday at 12 o'clock.